Okay, you guys, right here, I got two of those garden fence pieces from the Dollar Tree. This one's a little bit crazy, you guys. I hope you can keep up. And I'm going to cut them in half. I'm just going to take my knife and slice right down the middle there. And then it kind of like folded. Did you see it? And then I take, well, this one actually, I had to take my scissors. I cut it a little bit crooked and a little piece got stuck, but that's all right. We're moving on. Okay, and then, after, I don't know why I showed you. But we're going to do both of them like that. And then what we're going to do is, I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to cut off those side pieces. It's so much easier. They cut off so much easier if you heat them up, warm them up. Be careful, you can warp your fence. But right here, you see how you got the skinny side and the thick side, right? So I'm going to take the skinny side and put it under the thick side on top. And then take this on the opposite side. I'm going to... I don't know. That, okay, okay. Both of them have skinny and a fat. That's all I'm gonna say, and they're opposite one another. So there, I'm gonna put the skinny under the fat and the fat over the skinny. You see how I did that right there? Okay, good. That was better. And I'm gonna tape them down with masking tape, and I'm gonna set them at 2 inches apart. And I'm doing that with the masking tape so I can keep them in place so I can get them together, because I want them to be even as possible, both of them, because what I do to one, I do to the other. And then I'm going to cut off some of that stake that goes in the ground, and with my big honking scissors. And then I'm going to hot glue it, the fat piece over the skinny piece like that. And if you push it down, it will snap, and actually snaps together. So there, that's what I did there. But I'm going to take some little tiny black wire ties from Miss Wanda Cruz Anderson. Thank you very much, Miss Wanda. And I'm going to put 2 of them on there and wire tie that together, because of course we want it to stay. And then we're just going to cut off that excess wire tie. Of course we don't want that there, but I'm just showing you what I did to one, I did to the other. Exact same thing. 2 wire ties on each side and yada yada. Okay, and then after we get them put together, I'm going to lay them side by side here. Y'all are going to crack up. Well, maybe not. Anyway, I'm going to take my little heat knife here, and I'm just going to burn a hole through that plastic, because I'm going to take that drawer pull there. Listen, I had 2 of those, and my husband's fell off his end table, and I gave him one to use. And I was like, where is it? Where is it? And I was like, oh, I remember. So I was on the phone with May, and I went upstairs and took it off his end table and stuck an Allen wrench in it for him to open his end table drawer. I know he's going to be like, what in the world? Anyway, so I got my 2 little handles there. I think they're pretty. And then I'm just going to take little hinges, and I'm going to glue them. I'm going to glue 4 of them on like that. Now, if I had time, I would have ran those bamboo skewers down the one side of they're going to be gates. It's a gate. And you know how you got double gate doors that open. That's what this is going to be. And I take my marker here, and it's just color over it. And then I take a paper towel and wipe it off. And that way it blends that in, because if you wipe it off, you won't have that shiny. So that way we don't have to paint it. So anyway, I don't know what I was saying before. Oh, yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm going to take craft sticks, and I cut 2 pieces down. And see, and I just hot glued them one on top of the other there, right in the center of that gate at the top. And I'm going to glue one of those little D-hook hangers down. And then, of course, take a ton of hot glue and put masking tape over it. And they're really light, so I don't have any fear of them of like ripping that off or anything like that. I know you guys, I'm like out of it tonight. So anyway, and then I'm going to take those tacks. It's got that hook on it. You can get those at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put them in the center there and just pound them in really good. And I'm going to do the same thing to both of them, of course. And I'm going to take those hoops from the Dollar Tree, those wreath hoops. And I'm going to take the smallest one. I need 2 of them. And we're going to take some wire ties and some boxwood. And I get that boxwood at Walmart. Now, I cut it off. And all of the pieces had like the bulk of the bush at the top. And then there was like a couple of spare pieces, or like one on each piece. So the bulk, I left up at the top, of course. And then I put the wire tie between the pieces, the stragglers that was at the end. So that way, we're not, if, it slides around, it's not going to slide off anywhere. And then I'm just going to take the second piece and I'm going to cover up that smaller piece that's on the bottom. Anyway, it's hard to explain. Y'all can see what I'm doing. It's much easier. And I'm just going to wire tie that piece again. Just do that all the way around. And then cut off the excess, of course. And after we get that all the way around, I'm going to take this peony pick that I got from Walmart. They're like $1.28. And I saw them there the other day, so they still have them at my store. And I'm just going to take and slide it down under that boxwood, and we're going to wire tie it on. Now, I put one little one, like, at the top, like, holding some of those crazy flowers down that's going everywhere, because it is a bit heavier. And then I take a big old white one, and I just, I do the stem. I think that's how I did it. Anyway, y'all's going to look at it and say, that's not what you did. But I used 2 wire ties on it. I do remember that. And I just did it this morning, y'all. Almost every bit of this I did today. So I could not think of anything to make. I came down here 87 times, and I'm just like, I just don't know. I feel like I'm fried. I think I need a vacation, y'all. I need a vacation. And anyway, there they are. And those are really easy, and they were really quick. And, and I took that welcome sign that I have. I got that from Hobby Lobby a while back. And I hung that on the 2 of them together. And I think, man, you can hang that on the front of your house. And then, or, you can have it without it. Or you can hang it in your house without it. But I wanted to take those skewers and attach those hinges on the opposite side. But anyway, right here, I got 2 of those new bamboo cutting boards from the Dollar Tree, because they're bigger. And those pieces there that I had cut off another gate or fence a while back when we did Just Our Imagination. And I'm going to take a 3x3 piece of wood. I have a bunch of those little pieces of wood laying around. And I'm going to mark it on that fence piece. And I'm going to cut my fence piece and then just use the other one as a template to cut it also. And then I'm going to take some bamboo skewers, and I'm going to use hot glue and E6000, and I'm going to glue them in the back of that fence piece, because I need to make sure that it makes contact with that cutting board, because otherwise it'll just fall off. But then to glue them on, I covered the little bamboo skewers that I put in there with the E6000, and then I loaded the rest of it down with hot glue. But those bigger pieces, I use E6000 and hot glue. Oh my gosh, am I confusing y'all? Like I said, y'all can probably mute it, and probably some of you do, but just mute the TV and watch it, and you'll know better. I'm just going to confuse you by trying to tell you what I'm doing. Anyway, seriously, y'all. Oh, and then I clean it up, because when you cut it, it gets all wonky and jagged, and I wanted it to be smooth, so I just sanded it all down real nice. But anyway, so after we do that, well, I'm going to keep sanding. I don't know how long this is going to go on, but okay. Then that's where I go ahead and glue it with the E6000 hot glue. You guys, I am so sorry. I am so serious. I really had no clue. And then one of the DIYs was one I started last week, and the other one was one I started 2 weeks ago. And anyway, and I'm going to take E6000 and a little tiny bit of hot glue, and I'm going to glue my little 3x3 piece of wood down. And I cut it like right at the top of those little curly things. You got to be careful, because you won't be able to fit it down in there right if you cut it too low. Ask me how I know. And then I stained the entire thing with Waverly Antique Wax. I even put it on the fence piece, and the back. And then, I'm going to take these little tiny appliques. Y'all, I got it Temu forever ago. And I'm going to glue them on at the very front edge, and then I'm going with that glue, that super glue gel you get at the Dollar Tree. I know this is awful. Oh no, it's awful. Anyway, and then I'm going to glue another one there going sideways. You need 6 of them. You see what I'm saying? 4 for the front and 2 for the back. Good gravy. I need to just, play music. How y'all doing today? Oh goodness, I hope y'all are well. And then I added this in here again for some reason. Me staining the entire thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, and wipe off the excess. We're going to Mr. Miyagi that bad boy. And we're going to do the back. And I'm going to take sawtooth hangers. Oh, golly, guys. And put it in the back there. I did have a Mr. Miyagi moment. Y'all, I killed this fly. Y'all should have seen it. And I couldn't find it to show you. But anyway, I'm showing you different things you can do. You can hang them this way and hang those little lanterns and stuff from them and stuff like that. I think I might change it to that and glue that in there like that. I think that would be so cute. But I'm going to take these little Amber-esque glasses I got from the Dollar Tree. Not glasses, globes, candle globes, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to put them in there. And just some, I didn't have any candles, real candles small enough. So I just put those little LED candles in there. And I like these, you guys. These are going in. Listen, if y'all don't like the colors I use or the style, you all can totally make it your own. Paint them white. Paint them black and white. Paint them green. Anything you want. Anything you want. Okay, you guys remember a few weeks ago when I made this wreath that I didn't like. That is the new garden fence pieces. And I just took 2 of them and attached them together. That wreath. Remember? Yeah, did not like that wreath. So took it apart. And now we're going to use this piece again. And I will put that video in the description box. But I've got 2 tomato stakes from Dollar General. I usually get them there all the time. They're like $1, you guys. And I'm going to paint them with Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint. And one of those little planter tins, I don't know what they're called, from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to paint it in Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint. And then I'm going to take wire ties again. And I'm going to attach my tomato stakes to my fence pieces. You guys, I think this is my favorite one. It's probably the easiest one, other than painting that fence. But, y'all, I'd spray paint it. Next time I do that, spray paint it is. Yeah. And then, I don't tighten them. I flip it over and I tighten them in the back because I want those knots to be in the back because I just want it to look nice. You know what I mean? I need to paint the back and I will do that. But, probably spray paint it. But anyway, I'm going to take my little tiny crocodile here and I went down, I measured a 1/2 inch and marked it at a 1/2 inch, you know what I mean, gauged it, whatever. And I punched 2 little holes in it. And I'm going to take 2 more wire ties. And I'm going to attach them to the outside hoop thing. And not the center, the outside part of it. Now, I didn't tighten them yet. I know, you're like, oh no, that's not good. But I raised it up here. And that was the whole meaning behind just making it loose. And going around to the back and then tighten it. Because it's leaning against that. But I still didn't like how it was leaning down in there. So I do something else later. But I just sand down on top of the little words, and that is a 80 grit sandpaper. No, I'm lying, 120 grit sandpaper. And just sand that off, yeah. And then take one of those flat bamboo sticks and I'm going to prop that up with that. So I'm just going to mark it here how much I need to cut off and just snip that right off there. And we're going to hot glue it down. And we're going to then hot paint it. And then we're going to hot glue that tin to it, which you know that won't hold. But I just did it so it wouldn't be like banging around or something, you know. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I know I'm getting later and later. I don't mean to. I promise I don't mean to. But okay, that is one of the garlands that I got for, I think I got that one for $3 or $4 from the bin store. And it's roses. And I wanted this to be like trellis. So I'm going to hook up those behind those arrow things in that fence. And when I get to the bottom here, it's really long. I don't know how long that thing is, 9 feet long. But look how beautiful it is. I've never gotten one that quality. It's got brown stems and everything. It's gorgeous. But I'm just going to start shoving the flowers and the leaves down that tin. I don't have foam or anything in it. But trying to arrange those flowers to where they're upright. You know what I mean? But I just took it down, tuck some flowers in there. And I'm going to take that and take that all the way back up the other side. And y'all, this is gorgeous. I love it. It is my absolute favorite. And at first I was like, I questioned myself, like, oh, what are you doing, crazy pants? But let's see what happens. And I love this. I absolutely do. I mean, you can put real flowers in it if you want, but after I put that in there, I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna set that in my living room just like that. Simple, but gorgeous. I love it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I know. Huh. Tomato steaks and garden fences and reject stores, and you got something absolutely gorgeous. I know. I hope y'all like that as much as I do. Hope y'all like my little gate. I know that now looking at it, what I should have done differently, but I didn't. So yeah. Okay, this one, you guys. I took 3 of those rounds from the Dollar Tree, and of course removed the strings and all that mess, and I covered them with wood glue, and then just rubbed it in with my hand there. But of course, I'm going to stack them up. Now, this was going to be a planter, but it was going to be a hanging planter. And then I didn't have time to finish it, and it just sat there. Oh, and this is that Dixie Belle No Pain Gel Stain. I wanted to try the Georgian Cherry, and I tried it. Yeah, I think if I'd give it another coat, it would have been better. But I remember when I was in cosmetology school, dyeing my hair burgundy. That's what it would look like. Yep. Yep. I mean, it's pretty, but it's not. Maybe if it was like lacquered a lot, or polyacrylic or polyurethane something a lot, I think I'd like it better. But anyway, I just start randomly drilling holes. They were 3 or 4 inches apart. I don't know. I'm just drilling holes. And then I was like, wait a minute, Goofy. You don't want to go too far. Because I got this next fence piece from Dollar General, and it is so pretty, and it's only $1, and I like it better than the other 2 I used. I love that. And then, of course, I'm going to cut off the steaks and cut off the little side and end pieces, you know. And then, it seemed to be easier to cut, too. But I'm going to wrap it around here, and then I'm going to mark it to see, because I know I'm going to have to put a hole right there where I can attach my, my main little things at the top there. Anyway, guys. Okay. Oh no, I forgot to have my crafty crafters. And oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I love you guys, and I did not mean it. Oh no, I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. I'm telling you, I need a vacation. I'm exhausted. Anyway, but I can't take time off. I ended up taking some jute, and that didn't work. But I wrapped it around it and tied it. So it wouldn't like spread out like at the opening. But I took that braided jute ribbon. I don't know if that's what it's called. Brenda calls it that, so that's what I call it. And I wrapped it all the way around the base there, and hot glued that down. I'm thirsty, y'all. And then I ran that stuff right on the inside too, and I kind of like made it meet like y'all see. Y'all see. Yeah. And just wrapped it, hot glued it all the way around. And, yeah, I was going to drill 4 holes in it and run nautical rope through it and hang it up. And, I was going to wrap some material around the bottom of it so it could hang and flow and look like a little chair hanging there, but that didn't work. Okay, now this one is another one I started. I think this one I started last week. But when I was doing the Brandy video, guys, I just love Brandy stuff. Isn't it amazing? Anyway, hey Brandy, hey girl, hey. Anyway, I'm going to take 2 of those. One of them was wobbly, so I had to ixnay it and get another one. But I sanded it down really well. And then I'm just going to take E6000 and a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to glue the 2 together. You know how it goes. And then I lost this footage. But that clear charger from the Dollar Tree, I did the same thing, E6000 and hot glue, glued those together. And I was going to try to use that acrylic worn penny and go over that edge and cover up that gold. It didn't work. So I took my espresso spray paint and I gave it 2 coats. Well, it was windy outside. A gust of wind came, knocked it over. It got in sawdust, all kinds of mess. While it was wet. And I'm like, well, isn't that lovely? And then I just was like, no, I tried. I cannot use this. It's awful. But I thought it was going to be pretty. But anyway, so I decided I'm going to take E6000 and hot glue, and I'm going to glue my seat onto my pedestal or riser, or I don't know. And we're going to make a little plant stand like this. It's pretty. I like it. I didn't think I would. I was like, this is nuts. This never work. Well, it did. And now, I mean, you know it's going to be stable. So I got that little round from Hobby Lobby, 50% off all spring stuff. It said it was $3.99. Got it for $2. I'm like, yes, please. And then that little one I got from Michael's. I've had it a long time. They were 99 cents. They're probably $8 now, but you know how it is. And I'm just going to take wood glue, and I'm going to glue that one to that bigger one. I know, out of frame too, because that's how I roll up in here. And just going to set some weight on it for a minute, and it don't take long with that Gorilla Wood glue. And then I'm taking E6000 hot glue, and I'm going to glue that thing to those two things. Yes, I have no idea what you call this, y'all. And then I'm going to paint it in Truffle by Waverly. And then after I'm done with that, I covered it in that copper gilding wax. And I'm going to take that same braided ribbon. I know, words, you guys. Words are escaping. I'm on that struggle bus today. Choo-choo. I know. And you know, every time I use these 6,000, it hurts my throat. And I get like a sore throat and a scruffy. I do. I don't know. I just inhaling that stuff. That stuff is crazy. Because I ran out of Fix-All. But then I was like, oh, I got some Fix-All sent to me. But it was too late. I already used, Anyway. And I wanted to make sure I got all that fuzz burn off that rope. Because I'm going to take that rubbing buff, and I took gold leaf rubbing buff, and I put it on my jute, because I wanted to make it look like that gold braided, anyway, but it didn't work, because, yeah, I'm goofy, but I tried, but it's still, I like it, anyway, so I did that right there. I hope y'all could follow. I love you guys, and anyway, I hope y'all like this. Listen, you could set a plant on that. You could set anything on it you want. I mean, you could set it in your kitchen in the corner and put stuff on it. Because of the weight on the bottom and that wood, it won't fall over. Because I had a couple things on there and it did not tip. So, yeah, it's going to be stable. But I can't do the regular, I don't know why I'm showing it so much, but I can't do like the regular in like here, because everything was so big. I didn't realize everything was so ginormous. But again, if y'all don't like the flowers I use or the style or the color, y'all can change it up 100% and make it totally yours and still come out with something beautiful. Because I do like more of the vintage. I always have. I never, I like rustic stuff too. And I like making the pig and chicken, all that little stuff. But as for my house, I've pretty much always had some kind of vintage, except my bedroom is done in boxer stuff, and my bathroom is done in Highland Cow. But now the Highland Cow's a little bit throughout my house, I'm making him vintagey. But I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a great week. And again, I'm sorry I'm late, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.